Just because women are quiet doesn't mean that they want you to leave it alone. When they're quiet, that just means that they're plotting on you.
Don't you get it? You gotta use reverse psychology. That sounds too complicated.
Hello, friends. Trace amounts of science. Welcome back to ReddX. Today we're getting into some r/AmITheDevil. We'll offer some moral catharsis for some people that, well, usually have their head pretty far up their own bum, you know? They think Reddit's gonna agree with them, and yeah, sometimes display the worst sides of humanity. So I'm excited to get into it. It always makes me nice and angry, and the people seem to like that. So let's not delay any longer. Thank you so much for being here today. Let's rock and roll. Our next OP says, am I the beehole for making my ex-wife pay me for a car seat? Nah, you can take that succubus to the bank, ring her out for all I care. All you got out of her is a car seat? You need to squeeze her a little harder. Take her to court or something. What? I'm not bitter. Don't look at me like that. Okay, let's see what the story is. This is a throwaway account as my brother-in-law is active on Reddit. I, 38 male, split from my wife, 39 female, almost 3 months ago. We have 2 kids, and this post is about our son, 5 male. It wasn't the worst of breakups, but it definitely wasn't my choice to do so, and I hate how she went about it. We'd been struggling for a few years, and yeah, I admit I probably could have tried harder in couples therapy and stuff, but she basically up and left one day, saying that she was tired of trying. Anyway, not to get too deep here, but basically, I think the way that she left was fucked up. This is relevant later. I mean, it takes 2 to tango. You know, she didn't leave for no reason. Okay, the way she did it, not great, but I'm sure she has plenty of things to say about your lack of commitment to the situation, and I don't know what the hell went on in couples therapy, but it apparently didn't go the way that she wanted it to. Since our son is so young, he still needs a car seat. When she left, she drove off with the car seat, leaving me without one for my son. I was pissed and wanted it back, but she said that since she's still the one doing all the school drop-offs and pickups, I was out of luck, and passing it back and forth all the time meant that she couldn't set boundaries with me. Okay, whatever. So I had to go buy a new one so that I could spend time with my son. But what I didn't know is that at the same time, she asked her sister, my sister-in-law, to give me her spare car seat. Her sister had a daughter who died unexpectedly a few years ago when she was about 4. Jesus, dude. Super sorry to hear that. However, I had already bought a car seat, so I ended up with 2 car seats after her sister dropped it off when I wasn't home. Yeah, so just return the one you bought. I don't... What's the problem? You threw away the receipt, didn't you? Well, store credit's the best we could do. A couple of weeks ago, my ex's car was broken into and everything was stolen, including the car seat that she took. She texted me and asked me to drop off her niece's old car seat at our next handover. But I didn't think that was fair. She left me. She took the car seat. My God, you literally are just a fucking child. It's not about you or the car seat or her. It's about the life that you've brought into this world, okay? Does that not register for you on any level? Your genetic purpose is done! Lay down in a hole! You're only still on this earth to make sure that that kid makes it, turns into a functional human being. And the example that you're setting is not helping with all that, okay? You want to know why your wife left you? Because of stupid baby bullshit like this. Ugh. OP says, I didn't make her sister or her give me a free car seat, and now that her car seat was stolen, I didn't see why it was my problem. Because you don't want your child to die in a car accident, presumably. What the fuck, man?
Use your brain! Use your brain! The thing in your head, use it!
She also could have used her niece's old car seat when she first left, but she chose to take the one in the car. Yeah, well, definitely put your child's life in danger as retribution against your wife that you're upset at for... I hate this. So I told her I would only bring it back if she paid me for it. Her sister gave it to me, so it's mine now. No one else's. I told her she could buy it off me for $100. It costs way more than that on the market. Or she could buy another one of her own. Just complete man-child vibes, dude. Do you really need the $100 that bad, or it's just about sending a message? Let me tell you something. It's the wrong message to send. If ever you hoped she'd come crawling back, now she won't. The bridge has been burned forever. She was just tired, but now she's actively pissed. And OP says as much. She was pissed, but eventually sent me the money, and I brought her the car seat. I thought this was fair and equal, considering what she did. Yeah, half a decade of marriage, that'll cost you about $100. But my ex-sister-in-law, who I actually always liked and was sort of maintaining a relationship with, has now stopped talking or texting me since this, saying that I'm out of line, and that if her daughter were alive today, she would be disappointed in me. Jesus. Well, I think we're all disappointed in OP, honestly. This is just like the lowest of the low for no reason whatsoever. And he doesn't understand why the sister-in-law would stop talking to him. I really don't think I did anything unfair, and was just maintaining the boundaries that my ex asked for. It's also extra effed to me that a dead girl is being used to shame me when I did nothing wrong in the first place, and my ex is the one who got us here. So, am I the asshole? A resounding yes. Absolutely. Like the 4-year-old daughter that died, 4 years old is old enough to understand what's going on if you sat down and explained the situation. And a 4-year-old would probably be like, well, why don't you guys just share it? Because I'm an adult, and it's the principle of the thing. I'm a big adult man, so I have to act like a little baby over it. Like I said, I think the marriage could have come back together until you decided to take this road. It's really dumb. Really extra stupid fucking dumb. OP says, edit. Okay, I get it. I'm the a-hole in this case, but she left me. Yeah, I'm still the victim here. Don't you guys forget it. She did this to herself. She's forcing me to put in the same boundaries that she's insisting on. I don't get why people can't see this. Only one guy at work seems to understand how messed up she is. I'm sure she has some things going on, but so do you, buddy. Quite a little bit. I like how he said in the beginning, like, oh, it was an amicable breakup. What was his words? It wasn't the worst of breakups. I mean, yeah, you made it just that much more worse. And you want to take no accountability for it. Oh, this is her fault for leaving me. Well, she probably left you because you do things like this. Do you understand? There's no compromise. There's no two-way street here. So good. I'm glad she's up and out. I hope she never has to deal with you ever again. Unless, dropping the kid off or, I don't know, Christmas presents or whatever the hell people do. I don't know. My parents got divorced. Stepdad was like, I'm out. He went to Guatemala. I got the divorce, but no 2 Christmases. What a ripoff. OP at least got 2 car seats, but he doesn't even want to recognize how blessed he is, Doesn't want to spread the wealth around. You have to give me $100. What a moron. He got me good and heated under the collar, though, so I like that. At least on some... I mean, I hate it, but I also love it. We'll just move on to the next post and see if anything else today can hold a candle to whatever the hell that was. This title does sound like it compete. It's from r/off my chest, and it's titled, I think I broke my wife. Oh, that's never good. Are you trying to set me up for the boomer joke about upgrading to a newer model now? Because I'm not going to do it. I'm a classy gentleman, all right? Unless she stole a car seat from me, and then you gotta give me $100. I'm still stuck. Sorry. OP says, I am on here because apparently this is the place to come when you need unsolicited advice from internet strangers. I, 28 male, have been married to my wife, 30 female, for a decade at this point. For the story's sake, let's just call my wife Mary. Fake name, of course. She is the light of my life. Everything she does it with such a sweet and giving heart, and I really do wonder sometimes how I got so lucky when I look at her. God, you preaching the choir right now, OP. I got a little earth angel myself, and let me tell you, she saved me. She saved me from myself. It was going down a real bad road, and somehow she turned it all around. Turned me into something resembling an almost human. Almost. Things have not been so great through this past year. It seems like the two of us just cannot catch a break. Mary had started to pull away little by little, becoming more and more distant with me when she started her new job last year. Uh-oh, she's banging the boss. No, probably not. It's normal, it's fine. I knew that she was stressed, constantly on edge about deadlines, projects, and of course trying to juggle our household, so I left well enough alone and let her deal with what she needed to deal with. I don't think that's the play. I think she's looking for some help but doesn't want to ask. Try and insert yourself somewhere and see if that fixes matters. No, not you. Don't insert yourself there. Now's not the time for that. Come on, OP. Anyway, as time progressed, though, and she followed into the new year with this job, her mood started to deteriorate. She became more irritable, short, and to the point that when we talked, if I asked about her day, she would look at me as she dropped her bag on the counter and just say, "It was work." That's very me. And then she stalked off to the bathroom. I probably should have taken that as a red flag that her mental health was awful, but I didn't, and as I usually did, I left it alone. You're almost 30, dude. You gotta have this figured out at some point. Just because women are quiet doesn't mean that they want you to leave it alone. When they're quiet, that just means that they're plotting on you.
Don't you get it? You gotta use reverse psychology. That sounds too complicated.
That's a joke, mostly. Anyway, around 4 months into the year, Mary had all but pulled away from me altogether. And you still don't want to have a conversation about it? Jesus. We were basically just roommates who lived and co-parented together. She would make plans with our daughter without me, or ask if I wanted to come last minute. I could tell that she was only asking because our daughter had asked if I was coming. She didn't actually really want me to be there. These trips, road trips, or just fun excursions would usually end in us arguing, though, and her getting mad. Yeah, something deeper is going on here, and you're scared to look, is what it is. I do understand that, but sometimes you've got to grasp the nettle, lift up the rock and see what's underneath, because it's not always wood lice, is it? Sometimes it's divorce paperwork. In May, she informed me that she was taking a girls' trip with a coworker in August. This was something completely unheard of with her. She never made plans for just herself, and honestly, it pissed me off. Dude, what? That's... I don't think that's a healthy reaction either. To think that she was just going out of the country for the weekend was enough to set me off, and I ignored her the week leading up to her leaving. Do you really think that's wise? This is so ludicrous. You're doing the reverse of everything that is correct. Are you being wrong on purpose? You're just really this clueless? My goodness. That weekend, I was left with the dogs and our daughter to take care of alone. When she came back, I was angry, to say the least, but I think this is where I truly started this downhill chaos. She walked in with bags and bags of stuff, a huge smile on her face, and said, "I brought gifts." I let our daughter get her things that Mary brought back and spend time with her before she ran off to her room to play. Mary pushed the bag across to me, smiled, and told me that she didn't forget me and how badly she needed to get away for the weekend. I snapped and threw the bag in the trash with everything in it. I think you are just getting it all wrong on purpose. I'm glad you had a good weekend, darling. It's so nice that you were able to escape for a little while. Everything around here was great, but we definitely missed you so much. Can you say all of that? Is it really that hard? Open the present and smile and be like, oh, a bottle opener. That's just what I wanted from Tijuana. Wait, she's going to Europe? Did it say? I can't remember. Who cares? This is where I said something that I know I'll never be able to take back. You probably did nothing but cheat, and I don't want what a cheater buys me. Even as angry as I was, I watched the light in my wife's eyes die. There wasn't any anger, any sadness, any happiness. She just stood there, staring at me with this blank expression. OP's so clueless, he's probably like, cool, I got a Stepford wife now. She's an emotionless robot. Is that what you wanted? She's not allowed to have a shitty day at work or come home upset. OP doesn't even want to hear about it. He just ignores it. She stalked off into her room and, yeah, I let her do it. Follow her. Say, hey, how's your day? Can I make your day better? Let me rub your feet or something, you know? But yeah, quite literally, OP just doesn't give a shit. It's all about his own ego and like, oh, you went away for a weekend and that means you cheated. Where's that coming from? Do you have any proof of that? Are you just accusing her of cheating because actually you're the one cheating? Because I've seen that a lot too. Anyway, OP says, we didn't speak for a few weeks after that, but I could tell what I had said really affected her in a bad way. I mean, probably. She's like, I'm gonna go out and cheat now. I got accused of it anyway. She wasn't eating, her hygiene was slipping, and she wasn't keeping up with the house anymore. That's when she walked in September with her head hung and told me that she had lost her job. Apparently her mental health taken such a downturn that her performance at work had fallen and they found a replacement for her position. I did what I could to help her get through it, and as selfish as it was, I was relieved. Oh no, I'm not surprised about that at all. This has all been about you. You're not offering any solutions or sympathy. You're just like, yeah, we'll get through it. Secretly, though, I think it's great. I hope you lose the next job you get, too. You understand, like, this? Why this is a bad mindset to have towards your fucking wife? Hello? Ugh. I thought I'd get my wife back, and for about a month and a half, I did. She was slowly coming back, smiling, laughing, talking with me. It was like the woman I had fallen in love with was back. Well, the woman that you fell in love with was there the whole time. She was just going through like a rough patch and you did fucking nothing to help her out. You're just like, ew, I don't like when you're sad. Go away. That is ludicrous. Do you understand? OP says, all that was until Monday evening. She came into the living room and sat down across from me. She looked angry, sad, and a mix of just chaos. I was gaming and on my mic at the time, so I just looked at her, waiting for her to say something. So this is where I knew I screwed up. Mary's birthday was about 3 weeks ago. We had discussed some things to do, and she had given me some ideas of things that she would like. It wasn't anything special or over the top. She just wanted to spend the day with me, either at a spa or going out to eat and see a movie while a nanny watched our daughter. That's easy enough, right? Not for me, apparently. I didn't plan anything, and the morning of her birthday, she knew. Yeah, you should have brought her, like, breakfast in bed. It's her fucking birthday, man. This guy sucks.
Boo this man!
Like, I think that I drop the ball a lot, that I don't try hard enough and stuff like that, but Jesus, compared to this dude, a rock would be better than this dude. Mary looked at me after we got home from dropping our daughter off at school, and I asked her what she wanted to do. Her face immediately fell, and she said nothing. I watched as she walked back to our bedroom, closed the door, and slept for the entire day. She didn't even want to spend the rest of the day with our daughter once she was home from school. Yeah, you broke your wife once, and she starts to come back, and so you let yourself slip again, and then you break her all over again. I think this is what the last OP meant when he said his wife is, like, tired of trying. Mary is eventually going to get tired of trying. I mean, shit, my wife might get tired of trying too at some point eventually, but at least I push back against it, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I know I screwed up. I know I screwed up again, all right? I'm sorry, I don't want to fight anymore. Just please let it be better now. Sometimes it works. 50-50. It's a toss-up. OP says, Going back to Monday, she brought it up, asking why we were even married anymore, if all I was going to do was gaslight her into thinking that I cared, that I toyed with her, thinking that we could actually salvage this relationship, that I had done nothing but shatter her heart again and again. This pissed me off, admittedly. Oh yeah, anger, that's the healthy response. I know I probably had a nasty look on my face when I said this, but I was so angry that I told her, "You don't even know the meaning of the word. You're too stupid to know the meaning of that word, so just keep your mouth shut if you're gonna do nothing but be ignorant." She stood up and slapped me. I didn't do anything but watch in shock as she ran out of the room crying after that. Dude, she's really trying to, like, lay it on the table, have an open conversation, but you just want to be a fucking baby. Let your ego get in the way. All she wants you to say is, yes, I fucked up. I want to do differently in the future. I will do differently in the future. Don't say want to, because that's weak language. She needs reassurance. This is a time of great need, but OP is just so fucking self-absorbed, he can't see it. He can't see it at all. Since then, all she does is cry, and I'm at a loss on how to fix this, if it can even be fixed. Have you tried talking about it, using your words like a big boy? Because I find that works more often than not. I'm sitting by myself in the damn living room thinking of everything throughout the years. As she's asleep in our daughter's room with her, the only thing that she said to me since then was, "You accused me of cheating because I needed to breathe from stress and no help here at home for just one weekend. Do you know how many horror stories I've read about husbands leaving their wives for women that they game with, and you game all the time?" Oh, see wifey being a little jealous of the PC time? I've seen that one before too. Like, you can still do your gaming and shit, but, like, reserve some time. You know what I mean? Reassure her. That's really what she needs, is reassurance. She doesn't know that you still even like her at this point, because all you do is say mean, hurtful things or ignore her completely. You can see where she's coming from? No? Yeah? Probably not. He's a fucking idiot. OP said, "I don't know. Maybe I am jealous. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe she deserves better." She definitely does. Maybe I've neglected her for too long at this point. I just needed a place to spew all of this as my marriage crumbles around me. Some advice would be nice, I guess. See, look at you, like a fucking petulant child. Can't even be open and honest with a group of internet strangers. You don't want to take any responsibility for this thing that is clearly your fault, and that is ludicrous to me. Why are you like this? Why do you choose to be like this? Because at a certain point, you are choosing it. You could just be like, "Oh, that's my nature. I'm just a selfish guy, blah, blah, blah." But we can make changes to ourselves, even if they're small, even if they're slight. She'd probably take notice, but you don't want to do that. It's too hard to hop off the game 30 minutes early so I can rub her feet. It's just too hard. What an inconvenience to me that this person that makes my life go round needs me. You're a fucking mess, bro. I guess an edit and update, since I don't really know how to go about it on here. Some context here, so I don't seem like a completely emotionally absent husband and father. I mean, you sort of are. I work in chemical engineering, which is a very demanding job. My normal schedule can swing at any given moment, and normally I work anywhere from between 60 to 80 hours a week. My wife works in finance, so her job has a more set schedule, 9 to 5 when she works, so she took on the majority of the household duties and cared for our child when we didn't need the nanny. It was just something that we agreed to when we first got married, since she would have a more normal job in terms of schedule than myself. And even when you noticed her, like, on the verge of a mental breakdown, at no point are you like, maybe we should keep the nanny for, like, you know, a few more hours so you don't have to switch immediately into mom mode as soon as you come home, right? Ideally, you would be there to help out and take some of the burden, but if you can't, you're making the money, okay, I get it. However, maybe some of that money should be spent, you know, giving your wife a break. It seems like all she's doing is cutting off pieces of herself and handing them to you. And then you throw them in the trash. Like, you don't even appreciate the sacrifice. God damn it. OP continues, "Yes, emotionally, I am as ignorant as they come. I was raised in a broken home with very little affection. My mother had to work constantly to keep a roof over mine and my siblings' heads, so it was a focus on your education, not your social life type of thing, and that's what I did. Financially, I'm secure because of that, and I'm grateful for it. I don't have to worry, my family doesn't have to worry, and we have everything that we need. I'll never say that I regret my education, but I will say I hate that it's costing me like it is now. I guess the best way of putting it is I'm a nerd in a lab coat who's an idiot with women. Yes, we do actually exist outside of shows and movies. Yeah, only because you've chosen to remain that way. You're a cardboard cutout of a human being is what you are. And I think the most laughable thing about it all is you throwing your hands up and being like, well, that's just how it is. I have my reasons and I can't ever change ever. It's a cop-out is what it is. You don't want to change because it's inconvenient to you. Why not just let your wife keep giving up pieces of herself? That's much easier, isn't it? Now, for those of you saying this is fake, unfortunately, it's not. Though I will say I take it as a compliment to be accused of being ChatGPT. To the other, I'm an engineer, not an English major. I'm not a professional writer, obviously. And I was told by a coworker to come here for some advice. This is not Mary, and I've read through the comments, personal messages, and damn. Being honest, I really didn't think it was that bad, but I guess if you have the outpouring of anger that I've gotten, I realized that I really needed to take a moment to think about everything Saturday as the comments about what a piece of crap I am flooded in. Well, here's one more on top of the pile, you know? Even here, I see you using some, weak language and just oh, I'm gonna think about it. No, I need you to fucking take action is what I need. Otherwise, this thing's not gonna work ever. But anyway, so I sat down with my wife yesterday after I finally got her to settle down. Conversation was turbulent, to say the least, and I've come to realize that I love my wife, but I'm not in love with my wife. Dude, what the fuck? I'm pretty sure I actually resent her in some odd way. I don't even understand why. Which, that was a heartbreaking thing to realize on both of our parts, which I think just destroyed my wife further. See, you sit down to have the conversation, then you just say, a hurtful thing. No contrition, no nothing. That's the way I am. You're pathetic. She deserves so much better. OP says, I know she loves me, or she wouldn't have put up with half of what she has. I think that's what sucks the most out of all of this, is just watching as you keep hurting someone, even when you just want to do better by them. Yeah, I do relate to that statement on some level. I'm a bit of a fuck up too, but I'm also like a loyal hound, always ready to try and make it better, if you still want to. At some point, my wife will be like, you know what, I'm tired of this shit too, and she'll take off. But at least I tried harder than this guy, I guess. I know I love her, but I can't bring myself to say that I truly love her. Maybe it's just the comfortability after so long or something. I don't know, and I won't claim to know at this point. She's given me a home, not just a house, a beautiful little girl, and more love than I've ever known. I'm an a-hole, I know. Trust me, I know, and I know it's something wrong with me, mentally, not her. Damn, that's real. So what are you gonna do about it? He just throws his hands up. I don't know. I play computer games, I guess. So I let her read through everything I posted with me after our talk. And I think the one comment that hurt the most from all of you, though, and the one that stood out to her the most, was one that said, how you're showing your daughter she should be treated. Eye-opening, to say the least. I wouldn't want my daughter to be married to a man who ignored her and made her feel like she didn't deserve the world. I could see the hurt in Mary's eyes as she realized that our daughter could end up in a loveless marriage because of our actions and think that that's perfectly okay. A lot of tears shed yesterday evening on that one, on both parts. Yeah, tears don't mean shit. Do you have a plan of action? Divorce. So, individual, couples, and family therapy is being scheduled before a divorce is set in motion in the next coming weeks. It's been quiet since then, and I can't bring myself to look into the mirror. I'm disgusted with myself. I promised I wouldn't allow my child to grow up in a broken home or feel less than loved because that's all I ever knew. I watched my own mother end up in a loveless marriage, cheated on, divorced, left with 4 kids to raise basically on her own, and now it feels like I'm continuing my dad's legacy of family neglect and abandonment, just in a different way. Yeah, that means you failed the test. The cycle of hurt has continued with you. You fucked it up, and you don't even see the need to truly change. You're just like, yeah, we'll do therapy and maybe some divorce stuff, I don't know. You really are just a husk, aren't you? I guess in some weird way, thank you, Reddit. Even with all the hateful comments and messages, it was eye-opening to see different points of view. I'm taking it all with a grain of salt, and I'm going to do my best to try and at least make life easier for Mary and my daughter, working on fixing myself and my mental health. Yeah, that's nice and non-specific. Getting Mary the help she needs and any help that our daughter might need from all of this. Even if it means we end up divorced, I don't want them to ever struggle financially or emotionally because of me, and I don't ever want my daughter to think for 1 second that I don't love her. I mean, I'm sure you love her on some level, but you just love your job and video games a lot more. There's some things that need to be sorted, for sure. Second update. Hi, all. I never planned on a second update, but yeah, here I am. Mary and I went for our 2 therapy sessions this past week, and a lot has come out that I can't believe I was oblivious to. My wife has been struggling with depression and anxiety for years now. Apparently postpartum did a number on her after we had our daughter, and she never truly recovered from it. I didn't know, and that's my own fault. Yeah, because you had blinders on. You're not seeing anything outside of yourself and your chemical engineering. Precious 80 hours a week chemical engineering job. I guess I will try and stop shitting on OP because, he's taking some accountability at this point, at least. And I don't know, it's a long road ahead of you, but at least you've started to walk it or talk about walking it. Baby steps, that's what I know. OP continues, there were points in our conversation during the couple's counseling that really hit hard and hurt. I asked her why she pulled away like she did at one point once she'd started working again. She showed me multiple texts, emails, missed calls where she had reached out during the day, excited about the job she had just started, and I never answered. God, how far up your own ass are you? So her point was, I didn't seem like I cared to even know what was going on. So she quit trying after the first few months of me not responding. I get it. I do. If I had to beg for attention the way that she has had to for the past few years, I would quit as well. I bet you'd quit. You don't really want to change for anything. I don't know. I don't want to believe this. He just seems too stuck in his ways, man. But I guess, like I said, it's the start of a very long road. If he can walk it, that's great. I just don't know if I believe all that much. Probably his wife doesn't either at this point, but okay, benefit of the doubt. Hey, great. Maybe you'll fucking text your wife back when I write you that I'm excited about my first day of work. What an asshole. I did finally break down and ask her about her trip. I felt like an idiot when she pulled the phone out and started showing me pictures that she had taken with her female coworker. Nothing but old architecture, museums, food, art, even going so far as to show me receipts for everything she had bought, where she had been. And she did point out that she had texted and tried calling multiple times while away. I was so angry at that time, though, that I ignored her every call, every text. See, at least you're admitting to it being a power play in that moment, but when she's trying to tell you about her new job and how excited she is, why the fuck wouldn't you answer those texts or calls? You're just too caught up in your own crap? I don't know if I buy it. There's something sinister brewing here. Which, admittedly, OP says, I had forgotten about doing. Yeah, I forgot I ignored you. Sorry. Now looking back, I feel like crap about it because she told me that she was just wanting to know during that time what I would want while she was away. Souvenirs, sweater, shirt, model sets, basically everything I threw away that she had gotten me. That's bleak, dude. She was trying to build the bridge. I called it out when it happened, but yeah, just the lack of awareness. Wow. We did discuss her never wanting me to go with her and our daughter, or what I felt was her not wanting me to come. She told me it was just frustrating to invite someone out for weeks in advance because she wasn't just taking our daughter to the park or something. She was planning to attend events, parades, festivals, etc. I admit I forgot about a lot of them and forgot to buy tickets. Yeah, can't remember the birthday, can't remember the tickets. What fucking good are you, really? He works 80 hours a week. He stays gone most of the time. I guess that's the main advantage. She took it upon herself to take a picture of me every hour one day while I was gaming, and I nearly vomited in the therapist's office. I had spent a total of 12 hours on my off day gaming. It was eye-opening, especially when Mary broke down in tears and stated that this has been going on for years. Yeah, damn, man. On some level, I get it. I mean, I'm shackled to my computer more than I would like to be, too. Yeah. This story, like, as much as I attack OP, I think it's because I see parts of myself in OP that I really don't like. And I'm not gonna cry, but I do feel it welling up. That's when she dropped the bombshell on me. She found messages between me and a woman that I game with online. Oh, what the fuck, bro? She had printed the messages out in advance and sat them on the table in front of us. You've been having an emotional affair with this woman for years, she told me. This blindsided me, and in a panic, I walked out of our session. Yeah, that's it. Just run away from your problems. I realize it's better to talk to your spouse about issues and such, but it just came easier with that other woman. I know in the process I neglected and hurt my family, but I was too blind to see what I was doing. Yeah, I still don't think that gives you a pass, necessarily. There needs to be remunerations of some sort. Remember her fucking birthday, for God's sake. Since then, things have been tense in the house. What I believe to be my happy, doting wife now likely hates me. Our daughter doesn't interact with me, and anytime I try, she just says I don't know what I'm doing and pushes me away. It's crazy that everything I built in this 13 years is crumbling away. It hurts, and I hate it, but it's my own damn doing. The thought of truly losing my family makes me physically sick, but I know that there's no coming back from all this. I won't be updating anymore after this. I'm sorry if this comes off as ranty and all over the place. I'm just realizing how badly I did screw up as I sit in my car before heading home from work. Damn, dude. That is some heavy stuff dropped right in everybody's lap. I guess this is, the final result of what happens when you are scared to look at the problem. You let things erode and erode for 13 entire years. You know, she never knows what version of you she's going to get either. The neglectful one or the angry one. And neither of them are really all that stellar to be around. So I stick with what I said a bit earlier on. She definitely does deserve better than you. And I hope before you jump into a relationship with another person that you do some severe, very hard work on yourself. I think that's the only answer in a situation like this. It sucks to see it, man. It really sucks that you would do that to another human being. Maybe unknowingly, but yeah, callously, uncaringly, when really she gave up every part of herself. Dude, I am gonna cry for real. Like, I'm thinking of my wife and just like how much she puts on the table, and I don't feel like I bring enough, and I told myself I wasn't gonna cry, but here I am. Yeah, that's so stupid. I'm gonna take a quick break, a breather, and I'll come back to you with dry eyes. Okay, I've come to some harsh conclusions that, well, I don't want to be a fuck up, like that's more than this guy ever gave. You know what I mean? He doesn't even acknowledge his wrongdoings, whereas I'm constantly trying to step it up and keep up with my wife, who really does just sacrifice fucking everything. Everything. I wish that I could be half the person that she is, if I'm completely honest. And it might seem like, stupid wife guy hours, whatever, who cares, but it really does matter deeply to me. And yeah, I can accept that there's changes to make and there's still a lot that I need to do. So I'm going to go and do it. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, at least on some level. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, sign up on Patreon, check out our fourth wall if you'd like some merch. If you can't afford those things, that's okay. Maybe share the video around. I'd appreciate the heck out of that. But if you don't want to do any of those things, I mean, I can't live your life for you. I just hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And always remember, friends, that you are loved. You are worthy. You definitely, definitely deserve it. And I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye.
何バカ何バカ何バカ何バカ何バカ Sunlight glinting on Nippon steel, folded 1,000 times, can cut through any argument, defeating illogical crimes. Dew drifting down from the heavens, settling on my blade. I quest higher into the mountains before my euphoria fades. Nani baka nani baka, nani baka nani baka, nani baka. There I seek the sacred bird, and its flesh and I shall render, carving out the holy snack to claim that chicken tender. My fedora tips beneath the weight of the sacred